Hey guys, it's Ashley, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. So it is Sunday. I think this is going up on Monday, but whatever. It's Sunday and I'm here to film what I have been warming video. I have my basket here. And it's not completely overflowing, so hopefully it will be semi-timely to get through. So I'm excited to go through it. So I have one non-wax thing, which is a pod pack. So I have a pod pack, which is actually in Forever Fall, which let's give a pod rundown. I have Winterberry apple tea going in my car, one pod in my wall fan in my car, and then I have one pod in my air purifier at work, which I'm not like that into it. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I really like Winterberry apple tea, but the pod at work, I've ran maybe one day since I've put it in, and I think I've had it in for 10 days, which granted, not all of those have been at work, but 10 days, I've maybe ran it for like 4 hours out of those 10 days. Something about it, I don't know if it's how it's combining with the wax I have going or just like that environment. Haven't really been enjoying it there, but I've been enjoying it in my car. So Forever Fall, I took from those locations and put into the air purifier in our bedroom. Really enjoyed it previously in the work air purifier, enjoying it now at home. And then in here I have Luna. So I have a couple Lunas. So I think I still have potentially, no. Think of my downstairs air purifier, like in our basement in our basement. I have, I think, cider mill pods going, and I think I took the Luna out of there because that was kind of like the last third place to die, if you will. So the one downstairs, the air purifier, just kind of like let run. So the cider mill pods are like on their last leg. They're just kind of like giving a little bit of extra freshness. They're not doing too much, and that's kind of what the situation with the Luna was. At the end of last year, excuse me, I need to get a drink of my water. At the end of last year, I bought like a ton of Luna pods just because it's such a versatile, like, easy to gift to people, easy to do any time of year, and like I know I'll use them up. So I have a lot of Lunas kind of floating around. So I think this was one of the last ones I have like actively going around the house, and it's in this Forever Fall packaging because I think this is just like what I brought home and I like swapped everything out of. So that's my current pod rotation. The rest of this should be wax. So let's start off with the testers I have rocking in here. So the first one I have, the only one of these that I didn't do as a sample, is Pear-fect Day, which I do believe is discontinued since I used it up in our bathroom upstairs here. So I don't actually like this scent, to be honest. Yeah, you can tell just like how cloudy it is. I like just set it in the warmer and let it all drip out and then pulled it out, so it kind of gets this funny texture on the outside. This is just like pear and spices, which I think some people will be super into, but the way it's done I just don't really like. I feel like it's just too sweet. Like, it's similar to an apple spice scent, but something about it is just like off. And I don't know if it's the pear sweetness, almost like a honey type of vibe. I don't know. I just don't like the combo of it. I did it in the bathroom. I let it go for a couple days and I just let it do its thing. It wasn't my favorite, which I knew before I put it in there, but I knew like it's just a tester. I was like, if I really hate it that much, I'll just take it out and change it. So I did let it go for a couple days. But it's not my favorite, and it's still not my favorite. And I probably have more testers of it. I'm just trying to kind of get some testers. Like, testers are the one thing that there's just 1,000 of. And, you know, I'm just trying to continue to go through them. So these three I actually made samples with. Sorry, my watch is ringing because my mom's calling me. I'm gonna have to call her back later. These three I made samples with, and they're actually, if you're getting Happy Mail from me this month, spoiler, you might be getting some of these. So I did a pumpkin cinnamon swirl because this is just one of my favorites, especially this time of year. Same with apple and cinnamon sticks, another favorite this time of year. And actually Corey was like, I really like this one, which was kind of shocking to me because I don't know if he's been that big of a fan of it in the past, but I actually have the full bar of it in my melting basket. I am a fan of that one. And then Clove and Cinnamon, this one, some people love it, and I feel like the rest of people hate it. I feel like there might be a middle ground, but this one is spicy. Like, it is spice. It's just clove and cinnamon. I feel like when you really stick your nose into it, it feels super strong and like intense. Like, it's got a lot of that. But when it's actually going and like dissipating in the air, sorry, that's kind of loud. When it's dissipating in the air, I feel like it is like a craft store vibe. Like, it's not so intense because you're not just like smelling the bar, smelling the tester like right under your nose. It's like just nice, warm spice in your house. So I feel like this one, either people like are into that type of vibe and they go for it, or it's like super hated because people are like, it's so spicy. And I think I used to be one of those people who thought like there's just no way. But as I've come to like spice, and like I really do enjoy spicy scents, and I've come to realize like things kind of air out when they are in a bigger space. Like, they're not as intense as they smell in the bar if they're really, really intense scents. I've come around to it a little bit. Is it the first bar I'm reaching for? No. No, it's not. But I do feel like it's a nice, like, late November holiday craft store. Like, it puts you in the fall vibe if you're into those scents. So I thought I'd toss it in there. So those are the samples we did recently. And then I have 6 Scentsy bars here to share. And actually, this is technically 5 because let me share this one. This is what I have going in my morning kitchen warmer. It's a combination of breakfast blend and dulce de leche. And I'm going to be honest, I have done some swapping of some warmers. So I had a full size in the kitchen as my morning warmer, which I sort of transitioned into being not my morning warmer, which might sound confusing, but I could explain it some other time if you're like, what are you talking about? So instead, for my like morning scents, which is typically what I just turn on like in the morning before work, it's like a coffee vibe, I have a mini warmer now. So because I wanted to do these two combined, I actually cut the cubes in half. I don't know if you can see that those are half cubes in there. Maybe that's a better picture there. So I actually cut these two in half because I was gonna do dulce de leche on its own, but it gives me a weird, it's like so milky caramely on its own. Like, the scent of this by itself on cold kind of makes my stomach turn. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to combine it with the breakfast blend, which is a more coffee based. To me, this feels just more coffee and authentic to like that morning coffee. And I had done the 2 other cubes combined, so I knew I liked them combined. I just didn't know how much this like capacity this mini warmer had, and so I was like, I'm not trying to have a wax scent on my hands day one. I plugged this thing in, so I just cut these 2 in half, and I'll probably use these other halves to mix them together again. I'll probably do that within this entire dulce de leche bar. Like, I honestly might just cut the whole thing into halves if this is how I intend to use it. Because I don't see myself doing this on its own. It just, like I said, I feel like the lactonic, like the milky, that caramel, something isn't sitting well with me. But I like them together. So I might like this on its own on warm, but I just like don't want to risk it. I don't know. I don't want to go that route if I don't have to, because I do like them mixed together. And I have breakfast blend in my club because I just like this scent, period. And I feel like it has a good mixing potential, especially for morning scents. So that's my morning scent situation. So I obviously will just put these back into my stash. They're not empty. Finally emptied out Ghostly Greetings right on like Halloween, kind of after I did my last video, and I found the rest of this bar. I was like, I need to get this used up. I'm pretty sure I just had 3 cubes left, and I think I split them between like the bathroom, the office, and the bedroom just to kind of use them up. And yeah, happy that I did that. I feel like we're kind of out of Ghostly Greetings season. Naturally, you know, I used up 1 bar this year. I'm pretty sure I have like 15. I think I have like 15 bars of this. I would at least 11, but I think it might be 15. I have so many Ghostly Greeting bars. I just have a ton from like stocking up when it's been available at different times. I mean, this is from November of 2022. So if I only use 1 bar a year, that's 15 years worth. It won't last that long by any means, but definitely have to keep that one at the forefront of my mind. But I feel like it's definitely like a September, October, Halloween season scent for me. So that's part of the reason I took it out of my club. Like, I just had to be honest. Like, while I love the scent and I do want to have it, if I only warm 1 or 2 bars a year, I can't get 3 or 4 bars a year. Math. So have it. I took it out of my club a long time ago and I kind of realized that. But because it's been available in clearance sales, Bring Back My Bar, etc., I have accumulated quite a bit of it. I've also traded people for it in the past, so like I have plenty of it. So let's keep going. I warmed Vanilla Chestnut. I didn't have a full bar of this because it was a scent of the month, so I had made samples from some of it, but I warmed the rest of it. I was definitely intrigued by this, and I actually have a pack of pods in this scent. I like it, and it feels like a nostalgic scent because it's definitely like a woody, spicy vanilla, which sounds kind of weird, but think of like, once again, craft store, not like super heavy spice. It's just like that nice spice. There's a little bit of wood, and I mean, vanilla chestnut. I don't know if it almost has like that like slightly smoky wood. Like, it's just very nostalgic, and I feel like the vanilla just makes it a little bit smoother. It really reminds me specifically of a like crafty boutique store we had in my hometown growing up. Don't know why that specifically, but it really smelled like this for some reason. So I was really intrigued by it. I don't think I like it in my house. Like, I didn't take it out, but I didn't like warm it and think, wow, I want to do this again or buy more of it, if that makes sense. So it was fine. I'm glad I tested it. I will say I almost had the feeling that like, dang, I have a pod pack in this. Like, don't know if I enjoy it enough that I like wanted a pod pack. But at the time when it released and I had smelled it on cold, I was like, oh, I really like this. You know, it's very nostalgic. After actually warming it and just like, I feel like I've been a lot more serious about like the things I like and want to repurchase lately because I can't have it all. I think I just kind of realized like, I don't know if I like this as much as I thought I did. So that's my update on Vanilla Chestnut. I do feel like it is popular. I mean, I feel like it will strike a chord with a lot of people, if that makes sense. And I feel like anything with vanilla in the name just strikes like the bakery community. They're like, ooh, I'm intrigued automatically because it has the name vanilla. That's just my 2 cents. More bakery on the docket. We have Gingerbread Cheesecake, which I have to be honest, I don't know what this scent is. Like, where did this come from? It was a Whiff Box exclusive, but like, maybe I should say that differently. It was in a Whiff Box. I don't know if it was an exclusive because you can add it to your Scentsy Club. When I was recently adding bars to Scentsy Club, I saw it in there. But when you search it on the website, or like even when I searched it on the workstation, I felt like nothing was coming up. Like, I could not find any details about this bar. So I don't know if it truly is like a Whiff Box exclusive, but they're being nice and letting you add it to your club. I don't know if they're being nice and letting you add it to your club because this specific Whiff Box had sold out. I could see that being a thing. I really like do not have any information on this, and maybe other people do and they can leave comments on it, but I feel terrible because I'm like, I don't know anything about this bar. I thought maybe it was like something coming down the pipeline. I don't know that it is. Like, I'm so confused. But anyway, regardless, I was like, I want to warm it and check it out because it is available in the club section. I'm like, if it's good, like maybe I want to have more of it. It's definitely what it says it is. It is cheesecake and gingerbread combined. It was nice. I will say I split it. What I've been doing recently with like all these bars I'm mentioning, so the vanilla chestnut, this one, and the future bars, I've been spreading them through my entire upstairs. So I'm trying to figure out my space. And like I said, I've been moving things around. I have been dividing the bar across like the bedroom, the office upstairs, sometimes the bathroom, depending how many cubes there are, and either a combo of the kitchen or the living room, like open concept space. I've just been doing the whole entire upstairs because I was for a hot minute like putting a whole entire bar in our living room, open concept like area. And I just feel like I was having, especially with fall winter scents that are stronger, I was having not a reaction, but almost that like, sometimes when the scent's too strong or there's just too much going on, I get this like feeling like right here. And some of you might be familiar with this, but like it almost feels like I have allergies coming on, but I'm inside my house. It's that same similar type of feeling when I like have allergies. It's just like feels heavy right here. Like there's pressure. Like it starts to get that way. And like I know if I'm feeling that way, like I don't want to suscept other people to feeling that way. If there's people coming in, obviously Corey lives here, like whatever. So when I started to feel that way, I kind of like pivot and move things around. So this obviously isn't the only home fragrance I have going on. So I want to be mindful of that. So I'm shifting things around. I'm started splitting the whole entire bar across the whole entire upstairs. I feel like it's giving a more like cohesive, as you walk from room to room, it's not like these random pockets of like scent hitting you. It's very cohesive throughout the whole upstairs. And you're just like getting whiffs of the same kind of scent throughout, and it's like mixing together, just smelling nice in general, not like overpowering. With all that being said, apologies. Gingerbread cheesecake, because I had it spread out throughout the whole entire upstairs, I don't feel like it threw very well. Like in the smaller rooms, it was better. In the open concept, I definitely had a harder time smelling it for sure. And it could be because it's a newer pour. It could be because, I mean, I feel like gingerbread is a little bit spicy, has a little bit of like better success rate most likely. But the cheesecake portion, I feel like just didn't have a good chance. I don't know. I'm not adding it to my club. I felt like I just really couldn't smell it very well. And I think it was because I had it spread out everywhere. It was nice smelling, but I don't think, you know, if I think a person who was unfamiliar with scent would be like, yeah, I can smell that. I think a person like me or a scent addict, like other Scentsy people, other home fragrance people would probably be like, this isn't doing enough for me. So if you're sensitive to scent, maybe you'd be into that one. If you're wanting a powerhouse, I don't know that that's the one I would go with. Overall, the scent though, it smells like exactly what it's called, which is what I thought initially when I first opened it. I'm like, it smells dead on to the name. So there you have it. Okay, moving on after all that drama. Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. This was a scent of the month in 2022, I believe October 2022. Really did enjoy it when it was available. This is my last bar of it from the scent warmer of the month from that scent warmer of the month packet. Like, that's why I stopped getting the scent warmer of the month, because there's so many bars. There is how many bars? Like 8 maybe? There used to be 9, I want to say. And getting 9 of the same bar every month is like completely overwhelming. If I had a situation where I had like more local people that I maybe like hosted more events or something, I could get down with that. But getting 9 bars every single month was just like not it. Especially if I ended up like not being into a scent. So I actually don't do that anymore. And this is a perfect example of why. Like it's now November 2024. This is 2 years old and I'm just finishing up these bars. While they're good, I didn't need that much of it. So, Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. If you're unfamiliar with the scent from 2 years ago, this is a pumpkin-based scent, and it kind of just has a little bit of spice and a little bit of caramel in it. I am team apple over team pumpkin, but this is a pumpkin I can get behind. I do like this one. It definitely is on the sweeter side, and I feel like a lot of pumpkin scents are kind of on the sweeter side, or maybe it's just the ones I can get behind. I don't know. I feel like you either have that like fresh pumpkin, which I don't get down with, or you have this style of pumpkin where it's like combined with gourmand. It's like the foodie pumpkin, which tends to be sweeter and a little bit spicier, and that's the ones I like. This one is definitely maybe like Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl is also sweet, and I really like that pumpkin. It's like a pumpkin cinnamon roll almost. This one's sweetness is almost like, I feel like you can tell it has that caramel. It's like very, very sweet. It's not like more spicy sweet. It's like sweet and then spicy's in the background. I hope that makes sense, because like if I'm choosing between this and Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, I'm choosing Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. This one is nice though, and I just wanted a little bit of something different. I think it was one of the oldest ones I kind of had pulled out for this. I pulled out like all my now through the end of the year scents just to kind of make a melting basket. And I think this one was the oldest, so I just kind of wanted to use it up. But I thought it'd be something different from the other things I have going. That's all I have for bars right now. I do have a brick. I actually think I have 2 bricks to talk about. I didn't have this in my basket, but I do want to talk about it because I actually use these 2 bricks in the same way. So I have Cozy Kitchen and I have Sugar Cookie. I took a cube of actually both of these bricks and I used them at work. So if you watched my last video, I talked about how I was intrigued about doing a brick cube at work for just like, instead of doing one Scentsy cube or doing testers, which I had been doing prior, I wanted to test out doing a whole entire brick cube, which sounds maybe insanity. But my thought process is like, I'm just putting it in. I'm trying to do a scent that's semi-neutral. And I'm just like letting it go until I do not get any more like, obviously if I want to change it out, I'm changing it out. But if I maybe go scent blind or like nose blind to it, I can't smell the scent anymore. If I'm still getting comments on it from other people, then I know they can still smell the scent. I'm just like letting it ride for as long as possible. So the Cozy Kitchen, which I think I maybe said Cozy Cardigan earlier, apologies. A Cozy Kitchen, if I didn't already say that. This scent, I always feel like there's apple in here, but I don't actually think there's apple in here. This is just like a cozy cinnamon oatmeal sugar cookie, like vanilla. It's definitely not too spicy. This one I feel like was a hit. I would definitely take this back to work and do it again. I really enjoyed it. The comments I got from people were good. Like I didn't get any like, ew, that's grody, take it out comments. I got a lot of like, oh, it smells very seasonal in here, you know, like seasonally appropriate, like the holidays, like, you know, seasonal is basically the comments I got. I got a lot of those, and from people who definitely like don't even work in my area. So I thought that was interesting. Like people coming and going, they were like, oh, it smells like seasonal in here. So I felt really good about this one. I really liked how it smelled personally. I didn't think it was too like overwhelming. So this was a big hit for me. And I took maybe like this cube. So not like too big, but it was plenty. So I did that one. And I literally, instead of taking like the whole entire brick, I just like popped out the cube, put it in a bag, brought it to work, put it in the warmer. So I didn't have to like do a bunch of transportation and stuff. Then I also did Sugar Cookie, and I believe I did a whole entire cube, one of these two, probably this middle one, I imagine. Sugar Cookie, I was a little bit nervous because this is a lot sweeter, but I think it went over really, really well. So I actually have these sliced, like cut up into smaller pieces, but I did take the whole entire cube. I love sugar cookie. So obviously I was a fan of it. I was nervous it was going to be a little bit too sweet, but nobody complained about this one. So I do feel like this one I could do again. I feel like this one is a good mixer, and I am kind of glad I have it chopped up a little bit, because this might be a good one to just have on backup if I need to mix it with something. I do a lot of mixing with sugar cookie. Like if I take baked apple pie, which I could see myself potentially doing, that one is a bit spicier. Like, it's pretty spicy. I'll probably cut it with some sugar cookie. So I'll maybe do like half and half or something, just to kind of ease into it and not be so spicy. Haven't committed that I'm bringing baked apple pie, but I feel like around Thanksgiving and like people be in that vibe, I think it could be a hit. I do have another one I actually did, but it's at the bottom of this pile, so I need to, yeah. Okay, hang on, it's over here. Okay, so this is this is super random. Here it is. You might be like, what is this? This is Warm Winter Night. This was a sample I had. It looked like this. So this is a sample I had made for my customers, like that I sent out in Happy Mail. And I had just like one extra set of all of them that I like didn't get sent out or whatever. I just had one extra of all of them. So this looked like this guy, which this is Christmas Tree, which is currently in the available bricks. And this was the Warm Winter Night. I brought this to work on Friday, which is really random, but I knew my coworker, who is like more sensitive to scents, wasn't gonna be there. So I had addressed with him the day prior. He was like, I'm working from home, I'm not coming on Friday. I knew a couple other people were not coming on Friday, and since I knew it was the Friday before a holiday, I was like, it's gonna be really quiet in the office. So I was like, I'm gonna test the waters. It's just gonna be, I knew for sure, obviously myself and my boss, who he's not like super sensitive, and he fully knows like I'm a Scentsy person, so like he kind of goes with the flow. So I knew it was gonna be us two, so I was like, I'm gonna test the waters. I don't know how that many other people will be in. So I took this Warm Winter Night sample and I popped that into the office warmer on Friday. So I only used it for one day, which I probably only will use it for that one day. And it was interesting. I need to get the brick. This plastic bag doesn't smell like much anymore, but I just wanted to kind of like show you how I brought it there. Which I'm not like cutting up and making fancy little samples for every brick cube. Like I'm not doing that. But since I had those made, I was like, I want to do that. So here is the brick itself. So this brick has the weirdest scent to me. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It smells so interesting. It's like kind of almost fruity in a way, but it has like a, I don't want this to sound bad, but almost like a rubbery or something like masculine smell undertone. I don't know how to describe it, but it almost also has like a bit of iciness, like mint, spearmint, something to like make it lighter. It's the weirdest combo, but I feel like it is like, it's not offensive to me. I'm completely biased, I guess. I don't think it's offensive, but it's like a really odd scent to me. So I was like, I'm gonna take this in and just like see what happens. It was not my favorite. And like I said, I'm not going to let it go more than that one day, especially when people come back to work on like Tuesday. There's just no way. It's not like that. I don't think people would actually like enjoy it, but I didn't get any hateful comments on it, which shocks me. I really thought somebody was going to be offended by it. There was, though, at one point where I came back into our area and it almost smelled like, not, almost like bathroom backup-esque, which sometimes we get that because like we have a like place down the street that emits kind of like grody smells and it like blows down into our building sometimes just with like air circulation. But it wasn't that, because that's normally like all day long. It was just like a brief 10-minute period where it really smelled odd. And even my boss made a comment on it. He left like our area and came back in as well and was like, does it smell like sewer backup or something? He's like, did we check the bathrooms? Like, he legit was like, we're having a problem. And I was like, I agree. I was panicking because I'm like, is it my scent? Do we hate it? But like 10 minutes later, I feel like you couldn't really smell that anymore. So I don't know. I'm not saying this smells like sewer backup, but we both had that same exact thought. This was going that day. It doesn't smell like that to me. It smells like a fruity, weird take on a holiday scent. It's super strange. I really don't know. This picture is almost giving me like citrus, like mule vibes, but I don't feel like it smells like that. Like maybe a little bit orangey, like it's fruity. Something weird about it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this brick because it's definitely not my favorite. But I was like, I just have to test the waters and do this little sample. So I have the Christmas tree one in its little sample bag. I'm gonna take this to my sensitive coworker, which sounds so funny. I'm gonna let him smell it because he's super into like pine scents. So I'm gonna ask him if he likes this because his favorite scent is iced pine, which is no longer available. I feel like he could be into this one. So I'm gonna bring this sample to him since I guess I have them and just roll with it from there. Okay, apologies this has taken so long. I've really done a lot of yapping, I'm sorry. If you're not into vendor wax, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to chat about vendor wax, I have a couple other things to talk about. I would like to say I'll be brief, but there's no guarantee. So I have this stack to talk about, which is all scents from Rose Girls. So let's get into it. I think I mentioned this last week or whenever I filmed this last, that I had these scents from Rose Girls that I was just going to like crock, basically. I was going to combine all the wax melts. They looked like this. I was going to take all the little cubies from these bags and just melt them as one. So I in fact did that. I took Harvest Bake Sale and Pie Crust, Apple Clove Butter Nilla Noel, and Harvest Bake Sale Noel. I just emptied all these bags into an empty candle jar and put them into my crock and enjoyed them that way. It definitely went for like a few days and it was great. I feel like all of these they were similar scents, sort of. They all complemented each other really well because obviously just took all three of them and mixed them together. It was maybe like a third of a candle jar worth is what I had. But basically I did that because these are all from fall of 2021, which is 3 years ago if you're good at math. And they just weren't performing the way I wanted them to separately. Like I was melting them, they weren't performing the way I wanted them to, but they actually did really well in that format. So I'm happy I did that. I'm happy I used them up because they were just really old and I feel like I got way more life out of them than I probably would have regardless. So, or like using them the other way. So happy I did that. And I feel like I'm through this like old section of wax now for the most part. The only thing I didn't do that way was this Rose Girls Apple Fritter Donut Holes because this is one of my personal favorite scents. That's like a non-Scentsy item. So I typically mostly do Scentsy exclusively, but I do have these Rose Girl items and just some other odds, like bits and bobs, whatever. So this is one of them. This is one of my favorite scents that Rose Girls does. Not my favorite probably, but one of them. So this one, I was like, I don't want to include it in that pile just of crocking things because I feel like this deserves its moment. I felt like it was doing really well on its own. So I was like, I just want to enjoy it. So on a day I worked from home, I exclusively used this in all of my warmers. I put it everywhere, so I think there was like double the amount in here. And I put it everywhere. I put it in my office, put it in the bedroom, I put it in the bathroom, I put it in the kitchen, I put it in the open concept. Like, I did all the things. I am so disappointed. It smelled, like, it threw fine. It smelled so weird. I don't know what the deal was, because I had been doing this in my morning kitchen warmer and it was fine. Doing it everywhere in the house, especially here in my office, like I was working here in my office and I had it going, not a fan. I did not like what it was doing. I don't know why. So probably just gonna do the same thing I did with this, with these. I'm probably just gonna caulk the rest of it, because I do like this. Like, I normally really, really like this. And I have enough cubes that I could just go around and do it all around the house again. But how it did last time does not make me want to do that again. Like, I had to take this out kind of at the end of the workday, because I was like, is this the problem? Like, I thought it was maybe other things happening. I was just like, what is that weird smell all day? What is that weird smell? I had one candle going at one point. I was like, maybe it's this. It was not that. It was this. So really saddened by that, because I do really like this. I think I have another newer apple fritter. It's not apple fritter donut holes. I think it's just apple fritter. We'll see what happens with that. I think that one's from 2023 maybe. It's a lot newer. At least 2 years newer than this one. I don't know what happened here. I really love that scent. No, it did not do what I wanted it to. And I had so much hope. I was like, I'm going to put it everywhere. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to have the best day. No, it was not. Okay, and then I also worked on Cookie Land. This is the Mario melter, so they are quite a bit thicker. I only have 3 left. I freaking love this scent. It does so well. So these are actually, this is from August of 2021, and these are from December of 2021, and these do so amazing. I am also using Star Beans Cafe, maybe. I'm using something else that's in this same like time frame line, whatever. They're both Mario melters. They're from the same collection in December of 2021. They do so phenomenal. I don't know if it's because they're Mario melters. I don't know if it's because of their scent makeup, but they do amazing. I continue to use them in my morning warmer because they just do so flawlessly. I am curious to see, now that I have a mini warmer going in my kitchen for the morning stuff, how these do that way, because it obviously doesn't get as hot. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to continue. I'll test one or the other of them just to see how they do. But as of late, before I switched my warmers, these have been doing amazing. So that is officially everything I have to talk about. That was not enough scents for the amount of time that I have been filming. This is almost 40 minutes. I'm so sorry. Clearly I had a lot to yap about though. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I won't say anything else and hold you up any longer. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.